Hey you guys, it's Melise and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be summarizing this book called Sara Learns the Secret About the Law of Attraction. So I have wrote it down on a piece of paper. Now I'm going to be summarizing it for you guys. I did one of these already. It was this same Sara book, but it was different chapters. Right now I'm on chapter 27. I'm going to chapter 27 to chapter 29. So I have it on a piece of paper, and that's what we're about to read about. It says, all the day Sara's thoughts kept drifting back to what she and Solomon had last talked about. Sara was truly excited about coming to understand something that Solomon seemed to think was so very important. But the more time that elapsed since her conversation with Solomon, the more she wasn't sure at all what she had understood what Solomon was trying to teach her. Sara did remember, though, that Solomon encouraged her to observe others to see how much more often they said no than yes. So Sara decided to pay close attention to that. This is Sara's mom. Sara, I don't want you to be late tonight, her mother warned. We're having company for dinner and I'll need you. We don't want our company to visit us in a messy house now, do we? Okay, Sara sighed reluctantly. Company was not her favorite thing, not even close to her favorite thing. Now, Sara, I mean it. Don't be late. Sara stopped in the doorway, happily surprised to have found some evidence. So early in the morning, that supported what Solomon had said. She moved slowly, sort of starting off into the distance as she reviewed what she could remember of Solomon's words. Annoyingly, letting cold air fill the living room as she stood in the open doors. This is Sara's mom. Sara, don't stand there letting cold air in. For heaven's sake, Sara, get going. You're going to be late for school. Wow, Sara mused. It was amazing. Her mother had just, in the last 2 minutes, offered 5 clear statements of what she didn't want. And Sara couldn't remember even one statement about what her mother did want. And the amazing thing was her mother didn't even notice what she was doing. So that was chapter... Hold on, let me go see my book. Okay, so that was chapter 27. So now I summarized chapter 27, some of it. So now we're going to go to the third chapter. Chapter 28. So I have that summarized too, and then I have another paper that I have chapter 29 summarized too. So let's get going. It says, Sara walked home on this last day of school for this year with a strange combination of feelings. Usually this was the happiest time of her year, having a full summer of near solitude ahead of her, not being forced to mix with a room full of different and often uncomfortable classmates. But on this year, the last day felt different to Sara. She had changed so very much in this very short year. Sara walked briskly, breathing in the wonderful spring air, looking ahead and then walking backwards for a while. She was eager to see everything and everyone around her. The sky was more beautiful than she had ever remembered seeing it, bluer, deeper in color, and the fluffy white clouds in such stark contrast were absolutely stunning. Sara could hear the sweet, clear songs of birds that were far enough away that she couldn't see them, but their perfect songs were reaching her ears anyway. The feel of the wonderful air upon her skin was truly delicious. Sara was walking in a state of true ecstasy. This is Solomon talking to her, because in my last book I said Solomon had got killed. If you didn't, I was still on I was still on the book 1 of Sara, which I am now, but I'm going to my second one. But hold up. Okay, I was still on that book, but I was on chapter 20 something. I'm on chapter 28 now, and then I have one more chapter that I'm going to summarize to you guys. So, hold up. Okay, so now I'm summarizing chapter 28. Okay, so now we're gonna finish. This is Solomon talking now. It says, cause in the spirit realm or whatever, she can still hear him, but she can't like see him or anything, cause her brother killed brothers. So her brother's Jason's friend's dad killed herself. So this is something it says. It says, so you see, Sarah, well-being truly does abound. Solomon, it's you, Sarah said. It is everywhere, Solomon. I can see it and feel it. In fact, it's everywhere. That is not disallowed. A constant, steady stream of well-being flows to you at all times, and in any moment you are allowing it or resisting it, and you're the only one who can allow or resist this constant steady stream of well-being in all the time that we have been visiting. The more important thing that I have wanted you to learn is that process of hold up. Important thing that I have wanted you to learn is the process of reducing or eliminating the patterns of resistance that you have learned from other physical people. Because if it wasn't for the resistance that you have picked up along this physical trail, the well-being that is natural to you, certainly the well-being that you have deserved, would flow naturally to you, to all of you. So I'm still summarizing 28. Really long. I had like 2 pages of these. I have this page, and then I have this page. This page. So I have 2 pages. So this one says, Sarah thought back on all of the wonderful conversations she had with Solomon, how wonderful their interactions had been, and Sarah realized that all along Solomon had been teaching her process to lower resistance. And it says, little by little, Sarah had learned to leave her resistance behind. You too are a teacher, Sarah. Sarah's eyes widened and she felt breathless as her favorite teacher of all time announced that she, like Solomon was her favorite teacher, was a teacher. Sarah felt the warm feeling of appreciation sweep through her and around her. And what you have come to teach, Sarah, is that all really is well. Through the clarity of your example, many others will come to understand that there truly is nothing to push against, and that in fact the pushing against is the reason for not allowing the well-being. So Sarah walked up her gravel driveway and got into her front yard, feeling so wonderful. She wanted to leap into the air. Then she bounded up the front step and into the house. Hi, I'm home, Sarah called to anyone who might be inside. Okay, so now we are on chapter 29 now. So let's start. It says, Sarah went to bed early, eager to get back to her conversation with Solomon. She closed her eyes and breathed deeply as she tried to find the wonderful place where she and Solomon had left off. All really is well, Sarah said aloud, with the calm, clear voice of absolute knowing, and then she opened her eyes in amazement. So we're on the one. Solomon, who Sarah hadn't seen in weeks, was now hovering just above her bed, but his wings weren't moving at all. It was as if he was suspended in air and forcefully hanging just above Sarah's head. Solomon, Sarah shouted in glee, I am so glad to see you. Solomon smiled and nodded. Solomon, you're so beautiful. Solomon's feathers were snow white and glowed as if each were a tiny spotlight. He seemed so much bigger and so much brighter, but it was Sarah Solomon all right. She could tell that by looking deep into his eyes. Come fly with me, Sarah. There is so much I want you to see. And even before Sarah could speak, her agreement with hold up. Spell could be okay. Come fly with me. And even before Sarah could speak her agreement, she felt that incredibly wish that she had felt before when she had flown with Solomon, and they were off. But this time they were high above her little town. In fact, they were so high above her town. I don't breathe. They were so high above her little town. In fact, they were so high above her town that she couldn't recognize anything she saw. Sarah's senses were dramatically hiding. Everything she saw was amazingly beautiful. Colors were deeper and more wonderful than she had ever seen. The smell in the air was obnoxious. Intoxication. Never had Sarah beheld such wonderful fragrance. Sarah could hear beautiful sounds of birds singing and water flowing and wind whistling. The sound of wind chimes and happy children's voices were waft, wafting around her. The feel of the air on her skin was smoothing and comforting and exciting. Everything looked and smelled and sounded and felt delicious. Solomon, she said, is also beautiful. Sarah, I want you to know the other well-being of our planet. Sarah couldn't imagine what Solomon had in store for her, but she was ready and willing to go anywhere he wanted her to go. As Sarah looked at the planet Earth, a feeling of total well-being filled her little body. She watched with a sense of pride as the Earth turned steadily and certainly on its axis, as if it were dancing with other partners, all of whom knew exactly their part in the magnificent dance. Sarah gasped in amazement. Look at it, Sarah, and now that all is well. Sarah smiled and felt that warm wind of appreciation envelop her. The same energy that created your planet to be being would still flows to your planet to sustain it. A never-ending flow of pure positive energy is flowing to all of you at all times. Sarah looked at her planet with complete knowing that this was true. Perfect. Gotta put you guys down a little bit so you can see me better. Okay. It says right here. To move this book out the way so I can put this on top because I was putting this on top so I can see the book better. I gotta get my next page. I'm on my next page now. Oof. Alright, I'm all ready. Okay, it says. Okay, Sarah looked at her planet with complete knowing that this was true. Let's take a closer look now, Solomon said. Now Sarah couldn't see any of the other planets, but planet Earth was glowing radiantly within her full view. She could so beautiful. She could clearly see the dramatic definition between the land and the seas. The short lines looked as if they had been emphasized with a giant marking pen, and the water shimmered as if there were millions of lights beneath it, lighting the seas just for her viewing from her heavenly perspective. Do you know, Sarah, what the water that has been nurturing your planet for millions of years, the same water that nurtures your planet today? This is well-being, Sarah. Solomon and Sarah swooped down over the sea. Sarah could smell the wonderful sea air, and she knew that all was well. They soared faster, and then the wind over the great Grand Canyon, a large, long jagged crack in the Earth's crust. Now flying around at about the same distance from the Earth that the airliners flew, Sarah enjoyed the incredible landscape below. So much green, so much beauty, so much well-being. Okay, guys, so that is it for the Sara Book. So this is the book. It's called Sara Book 1. Sarah learns the secret about the law of attraction. So I want you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in another video. Bye.